what you would say, Admiral. There is very little American support for another war right now. Your analysis suggests you need troops on the ground. In the case of Syria, you may not get large public support for that. Forget about it. Not doable. How would you answer someone who comes up with that?
Well, I mean, I think, again, I think as a country, and certainly the national leadership, has to come to grips with a point where what's going on is unacceptable. And then you make the decision, and certainly leaders get paid to make unpopular decisions, and whether it's popular or not, doesn't drive me that much one way or another. What really drives me is whether it's the right thing to do, and it's the right time to do it.
Now, I know you don't want to generalize too much, and in fact the value is the specific example, but as I was thinking about this case and thinking about whether the U.S. Feels the responsibility, feels it has the interest to engage in a country like this, or any number of others that came up, I was recalling Harry S. Truman's statement in an entirely different context in which he said the president has the power to keep the country from going to hell. The Supreme Court proved him wrong in that case. But I wonder, do you feel the president has the power to keep the world from going to hell, or has the responsibility to do that?
I believe for the last 10 to 15 years that we are clearly out of the bipolar world, and we are much deeper into the multipolar world than I think we even realize, which from my point of view means that it's going to take leaders from many countries to solve the problems of the world, and that the United States can no longer do it alone. Our leadership is absolutely vital, and we are and will remain, in my view, a nation of huge consequence. But it's not just because the United States does anything, particularly unilaterally, now that would lead us to a point where, or we'd be at a point where everybody else will just follow. I don't think it's that simple anymore. I think we're much more integrated, and certainly the economies speak to that than we used to be. So I think our leadership is absolutely vital, but it entails, I think, dealing with countries. I mean, we talked about Russia, engaging Russia in a way that there is a long-term solution in Syria, as opposed to something that just happens over the course of a couple weeks, and then we figure out the rest.
Let me ask you about something else that was brought up.